About 2 years ago, my friend Cameron and I started getting together to talk about the Dharma over tea, and it's become sort of a once a month ritual that we do. And we recently decided to start recording it. So I'll be posting some snippets here. This is the first one. Love to hear some feedback and to see how it sits with everybody. We're definitely sort of experimenting on this one, checking, things, just the sound and stuff like that. And love to hear some feedback. Here it is. I find after so many years of that analysis and taking some whatever feeble amount of comfort that I could take in that analysis, that the mind will still have the tendency for me to do that. It wants to do that. And on that last video, when I shared some stuff, and it wasn't a shift that came with like a bunch of fireworks or a rush of bliss or anything else like that. It was but so profound in a very wordless way that it felt like anything that I could have ever said about any of this process was immediately old, stale, irrelevant,
archaic,
archaic,
plastic,
sort of like old news, and then that's why I said I have to come up with a whole new language, of like, how do you even talk about this anymore? And I spent a good amount of time just going, I don't know that I had anything. I don't have anything to say.
Isn't it because I would think funny how you lead yourself out on stage, to have that thing go, and then to really know I have nothing to say. Like, and in like your the homie you reached, I'm blanking on their name, but that's when the stage is set. That's where actual Dharma occurs. Because with thinking that there's anything that you have to offer, it's already been coerced. It's already been
co-opted.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so what a thorough, so masterful to just reflect a little bit again and break down. And we've known each other 2 years and just seeing the unfoldment, and it's masterful. It's beautiful. It's impeccable.
It was a little weird,
for sure.
I mean, you have far better, adjectives and your vocabulary.
You say
it's more robust than mine, but I went, okay, well, and then there was this thoughts of, I went, man, I just started this channel, and
exactly.
I guess it's over. I don't have anything to say. What am I going to tell? What am I going to say to you? I don't know. I have no idea. What it did though is it felt like, this is a really silly analogy, but it felt like if it goes from here, right, and then it moves to here, and then there's this protrusion, this thing that's just out there like touching and feeling stuff. And
yes.
I've had that before where everything was very tactile, but it was very emotion, very heart-based. Not so much in like the visual field, but like a energetic field, like an emotion field.
Yes.
A different level of sensation than just the visual field of just perception. I don't know if anyone's mapped that out. I don't know what that field is called, but it was this very just here thing. And I went, all right, well, so that's the order of the day. This is how we navigate that. This is how we, I think the mind put up a little bit of a fight, or it had been putting up a fight for a couple of years, because it tapped into that. Yeah. How many times? I mean, we tap into it a million times during the day anyway, where you're going, oh, you wake up in the morning, you're pretty clear, and well, maybe this today, or you interact with somebody and there's the opening, and you're just there, and there's the exchange of energy. Yeah. And like the mind finally gave up, or it just felt like it was irrelevant. It had some sort of feeble attempt of like, hey man, can I come in and quantify some stuff for you? And so there isn't actually a new language to even, nor is it a conscious thing of like, because then that goes up into mind. Now it's not like a conscious effort to say, okay, now I'm going to navigate from the heart. You turn on your little fucking Iron Man disc and it glows, and you go, okay, now.
No, that's exactly.
because now you're up
It's
into
literally
it.
all mind stuff.
So that's when I felt kind of dumbstruck. I felt like cat got my tongue because I went, how to describe this? And the only thing that really showed up was, well, I mean, really, it was very simple of just hang out. There's no way I navigated through all of that in a week. Even, I was like, I said like, well, I'm just been sitting with it. There's no way you can just sit through that and sort of get right in the, right in the sweet spot all the time. So I just went, all right, well, just see what shows up.
Yeah.
And
you just wait by the fire.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Just fire keeping.
It's the weirdest thing, but it was just so distinct of like, oh, this is what they're talking about. Of like, this is a feeling thing. I'm not gonna know. It's gonna happen spontaneously, moment by moment. There's no implication that's going to be correct or that you're going to get some kind of fictional ideal outcome out of
this is like the lack of the Flash.
Yeah, like out of every interaction, you're going to go, oh, I'm going to have a deep connection with whoever, and I'm going to navigate everything. I might even navigate my way over to some winning lotto numbers here.
Correct. No, yeah.
Something stupid like that. It does gives you no indication of how things are going to unfold at all. But it's just, how do I describe? It's the words contradict each other. It's lighter, it's fresher, but it's warmer and richer.
Yes.
And infinitely more easy. Where you're just like, okay, this. And sort of prepared at any point in time. It's going to sound weird to be like, I don't know. I have no idea.
Clueless.
No idea.
Clueless. Or
you might go, oh, it's this thing. Or launch into some kind of monologue, diatribe, soliloquy.
It can appear in any way, but I like how you say it doesn't give any reference as to how it's going to unfold. And in fact, there's almost no value. It's kind of valueless in that way, which is why the mind misses it, because it can't even grab it. There's nothing to grab. There's no language in that way. There's no capturability. There's no choppability. There's, and yeah.
The mind sits at the I'm on the analogy train today.
I like it. No, jump in.
The mind sits at the end of one of Willy Wonka's great big magic candy machines, and all the steam whistle, the train whistle goes off, and the wheels turn, and you see all the gears and the little conveyor belts, and out pops. Right, in the movies, it pops out some special thing, but the mind's sitting at the end of that, waiting for something to pop out, and it never does.
Correct.
It's just you're on to the next thing, and on to the next thing, and on to the next. It's waiting for that final whistle of woo. There's my magic. Here's the thing, but it's not the thing. It's the thing was it just left. You just missed it.
Yes.
Oh, and that one too, and that one too. Yeah.
It's always a step behind.
Yeah.
Quite literally. Yeah. And thus the comfortability or the novelty of the surprise, and that to be like the unknown is the truth, in a way, like the non-knowing, which can also appear as, yes, okay, I have an idea of some sorts, but the in the same way, the okayness with the rage, the okayness with the anger, the okayness with I have no clue. There's literally there's not the same spark to try to have a clue, to try to have an explanation, to try to.
Let's take it one level further, even that. So because the mind at this point isn't functioning, it's working on one cylinder out of 8.
Go.
There isn't a resistance to what we used to think of as a adverse reaction in a situation or a negative emotion. Quite the opposite. Like, since that has started unfolding here, I've been in a number of situations that were either uncomfortable, painful, charged with all different kinds of emotions, And it almost seemed like I had lost the ability to apply any barrier, any protection, any antidote. It was just like I shared in that video, like you just catching a lethal dose of whatever is happening. It's not necessarily a lethal dose, but I make you feel like it sound like radiation, but you just like I'm getting blasted, and something said at one point, all right, this is where I used to resist, or this is where maybe I think I'm supposed to resist, or no, get this away from me, and you just feel powerless. So that's why I said I think that I think it could potentially. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it unfolds for everybody, of course, but that switch from here to here is one that people can avoid for a long time. Because it doesn't mean if you're switched into like a heart-based opening that it's all warm fuzzy stuff, because heart-based opening sounds really nice.
For sure.
Oh, that sounds great. And then you get near somebody who's really, really intensely suffering, and all of a sudden you're suffering with them.
Yes.
And there's nothing to do but okay, wow, all right, they're really in a lot of pain, and therefore so am I.
Yes.
So I think we intuitively can sense that, and that's why it'll open and close. At least that's what happened to me, like open and closed. Open, no, let's shut down for another 6 months. Let's unpack some more of my stuff. And the last couple of weeks, it's like even more so that now that that's opened, it hasn't been all glowy. There's been some stuff I woke up and went, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Or when I was laid out really, really sick, and just going, oh, okay. Just sick. And there's nothing I really want to do about it, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. And at the end of it, at least my response now is, for me at least, I don't know how it is with everyone else, it just starts to be funny. You just like, you laugh at it. You just like, okay, well, sure. What else you got? Like, or because there's no avoiding it.
The freedom of dropping volition.
It doesn't, when you're in the minute, in the moment, it doesn't feel like freedom.
Yeah.
It feels like helplessness. It feels like I'm powerless.
But not a
panicky powerless, but just like hey, there's nothing I can do right now. I'm getting stretched on the rack, and okay, actually, you know what? Give it another couple of turns, because now it's just funny. Like, when it's like, not to this extreme, but when you have something like a series of bad things happen over a couple of days or whatever, at some point, a lot of people will sort of break.
For sure.
Into like laughter. Sure. They're like, okay, that's it. Everybody out of the pool. Fine. Let's get all of it. I don't want to leave one untouched speck of this. For me, like residual emotion or untouched trauma or something that's still stored in the body.
Yeah.
No, let's just get in there and let's just get all of it out, because it's just fucking funny at this point. You can't kill me. What are you going to do? Like, you've already done, it's like you've done your worst life, in a sense. Okay, bring it on.
Yeah.
But I think that's where magic is too, where you just go, all right.
That's cool. Like the surrender aspect, truly.
Yeah.
Like the final choice in that way being the letting go, being the give it the best you got. Which it's you give it all.
Just so counterintuitive to the messages that we've gotten our whole lives. I need to stay strong. Yeah, good luck with that. I need to, let's just keep swimming. All right, well, good. It's at a certain point you sort of need that, just because there's just no way you feel like you can handle the whole.
No, we come in helpless.
Let me get the full dose of it.
Yeah.
But then you see that, like, wow, the whole of society is wandering around telling each other in one form or another, yeah, go ahead and repress this emotion and make it worse. But your booby prize at the end, your shitty door prize at the end is you would say, look at me, I stayed super strong through this. What a champion. And I'm like, that's not it's not as satisfying as it reads on paper as it sounds, where you're going, oh, look, I'm such a so-and-so such a warrior. I'm like, yeah, but they're a mess.
The prize in that way being the story. Oh, hi. What's up, dude? You take a bath?
Is that you?
Yes, it is.
What's your name?
What's my name? My name's Ted. We've met before. Hello.
Ted.
Yeah.
Ted with an E. Ted.
What's Ted?
What's Ted?
That's a good one.
That's a good question.
That's a good one.
What? Oh my God, we're working on that.
You're right on it.
We're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, don't touch that.